So the ingredients we're going to be using for our pork curry today is a pork. I cut it up into small cube-like pieces about this big. I mean, some are a little smaller than that, but just cube-sized pieces. I used 3 strips of the shoulder, pork shoulder. I'm not making that much because it's just me and my husband. 2 Roma tomatoes, so 2 full Roma tomatoes. 1 large onion. My onion is pretty big, about that big. So if you have 2 medium-sized onions, then 2 medium onions. 1 green chili, because I don't want to make it too spicy, but if you want, you can put more than 1 green chili. The spices we're going to be using, so red chili powder, which is our lal mirch powder, haldi powder, which is our turmeric powder, coriander powder, which is our dhania powder, and jeera powder. So in our dry ingredients, we're going to be using cinnamon sticks. We'll put 2 cinnamon sticks, bay leaves, which I'm going to put about 3 of them in, our rye seeds, which are these seeds right here. They look like that. And then our long, which look like that. And then our jeera seeds, which are right there. And then the other thing we're going to use is this bad boy right here, which is really good for digestion. And this is your asafoetida powder. Alright, so I took a regular pan, I put some oil in it, I put my gas on high, and I'm going to be adding all my dry ingredients, including my powder, to the oil once it warms up. Alright, to test and see if the oil is hot, I'm just going to drop some seeds. It looks like they start to sizzle, so we'll go ahead and add our ingredients. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and add like a spoonful of these, teaspoon. Then we're going to add a teaspoon of these. There you go. Now we're going to add some of our long. I'm not going to add that many, maybe like that many. And I'm going to add my bay leaves. And then my cinnamon sticks. Alright, and I'm going to mix it all together. As you can see, that's getting a little brown. I'm going to go ahead and add my asafoetida powder. Alright, so once that's kind of nice and brown, I went ahead and took out my bay leaves and my cinnamon. I just wanted to flavor my oil. I don't want it to actually stay in the cooking because it looks it kind of tastes weird when it comes in the food when you're actually eating it, because you can't eat it, you just have to pull it out, so there's no point of keeping it in there. So I went ahead and pulled that out. I'm going to go ahead and add my onions. Let's throw those in there. My favorite sound ever. Mix these up. I'm going to let this cook for a little bit. Alright you guys, so as you can see, my onions are starting to kind of sweat, get a little golden brown. 2 of the ingredients that I forgot to mention is ginger and garlic paste. If you don't have the paste, then you can just take the ginger and the garlic, cut it up finely, like chop it up, and put the real deal in instead of the paste. I find it much easier to do the paste. So I'm going to go ahead and add these. Alright, so add about a spoon of that, and probably a little more garlic. The pork loves the garlic and ginger, so the more the better. Go ahead and mix this up a little bit, and then we'll add our green chilies. So my onion, my garlic and ginger paste kind of all blended together. I'm going to go ahead and add my green chilies, my 1 chopped green chili. Throw that in there. And mix this up together. And just let that cook for about 2 minutes, and then I'll go ahead and add the pork in. Alright, now that my green chilies have kind of had some time to cook in there, I'm going to go ahead and add our pork. So, there we go. And I'm just going to mix this up, and then I'll come right back. Alright, so I mixed everything together. I'm going to go ahead and let that cook for a little while. The gas is still on high, and I'm going to go ahead and cover it with a lid. And I'll come back and check on it in about 5 minutes. So the meat is looking delicious. It's going ahead and blending with the oil, the onions, and the green chili. I went ahead and put the gas down, not too high, but like between 7 and 8. And I'm going to go ahead and cover it again and let it cook a little longer. Alright, I just opened it up to check on it, and as you can see, the pork produces so much water, so we have to, every so often, I'm just going to run my spoon through it, make sure it's not sticking to the bottom, and just make sure that everything's okay. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and add our spices to the food, to the pork. So I'm going to add about half a teaspoon of jeera powder, about half a teaspoon of coriander powder, not too much, about that much turmeric powder, just a little more turmeric powder, and a little bit of red chili powder. Of course, red chili powder you can kind of add if you want a little more spicy, add a little more. And I'm going to mix all of this up and stir it up, and add some salt. 1 big teaspoon of salt. And just remember, you're roasting the meat, so you want to keep on coming and check on it. You want to keep on stirring just to make sure that everything's not sticking to the bottom, and just adjust your gas according to if it's too high and it's sticking to the bottom, reduce it. Just keep roasting it till the pork is nice and cooked, and then we'll add the tomatoes. Alright, now that all the spices have blended in and it kind of looks like the pork is almost done as well, we're going to go ahead and add our tomatoes, and I'm going to mix this up and I'll show you what it looks like. Mix it all up, and now I'm going to turn the gas down to 5, actually maybe 4, like between 5 and 4. I'm going to go ahead and cover this and let everything blend in. Now when it comes to the water, I can't really tell you how much to add. It all depends on how much curry you want. If you want to keep it dry, you could just dry this up a little more and you'd be done right there. But I like to have some curry because I'm going to make some rice with this. So I'm just going to add some of that, mix it up, and see if it's where I want it to be. Alright, so I added 1.5 bowl, this is the size of my bowl, to this, and I think that looks good. That's like the good amount of curry that I will need. So I'm going to go ahead and put this on medium, and then we're going to let it simmer, and then we're done. Alright, so hot it's steaming up my camera. But let's see. Alright, our pork is all done, and I just let it boil and everything kind of blended together, and it all looks good. So now I'm going to go ahead and take it out in the plate and garnish it with some coriander leaves.